Hello and welcome to It's Tea Time. I'm your host, Jonathan Sellers, and this week we're joined by Sandy Atkins, filling in for Jeremy McLean. And Sandy, a busy time. I know we keep on mentioning that, and it just seems to never end, but a lot of things are just rolling right now, and exciting times right now for both baseball and softball. They're playing really well. Golf has started, and they're playing really well out on the course. But we're going to get things started off with the hardball teams. Baseball, they're played... Southeast Louisiana over the weekend. They've started 7-1, and they're playing a big game tonight, Tuesday night, here at home against Alabama. Then on the road tomorrow against UAB, and then Pensacola for 3 very big games. So just a lot going on right there for baseball.
Yeah, you really couldn't have asked for a better start for those guys. Of course, Mark Smart, who's been such a staple of Troy baseball, and getting the opportunity to lead the team and just getting off to a terrific start, 7-1, and really expecting a full house tonight against Alabama. Of course, they're playing well too.
Right.
I think they're 6-1 as well. So really looking forward to a great contest tonight and tomorrow, and certainly those games are important. Looking down the road to conference play, that's what's really important. But it's been great to get off to such a great start.
And then the opportunity this weekend. I know it's on the road. It's at Pensacola, but there's a big fan base down there in Pensacola for Troy and the Mobile area, the Gulf Coast.
Yep.
So a good opportunity. I know they're holding tailgating events for alumni down there. So a great chance if you're in that area to get down there, watch Troy play Auburn, watch Troy play Southern Miss and Michigan State in a minor league stadium.
Yeah, it really is a great venue. It's a great stadium. The opponents are fantastic. Of course, you mentioned them, but the admissions office is having a great event that's going down there as well.
Right.
They're trying to have some prospects come out too. The alumni office has put together a great alumni event down there. So a great venue, great weekend. It's supposed to be nice weather, so it should be a lot of fun.
And then we're going to look a little bit ahead. I know it's a little bit out, but you mentioned that first weekend of conference play. That's coming up for the baseball team, and it's a good opponent, and it's at home. It's Louisiana Lafayette as they come to town, and they're ranked in the top 25 poll. So that'll be a great opportunity for fans to get out there and cheer on Troy in a big environment.
Oh yeah, it's it always seems like it all happens at one time, but then it keeps going faster and faster. Louisiana Lafayette absolutely top of the Sun Belt Conference in the past. Troy's always been there, South Alabama, so some great opponents there. But that's the most important, is winning those weekends and those conference weekends, and that's going to be that first week or second weekend in March, and so we really do need a lot of support for that weekend series.
And then softball, I know they're gonna hit the road for the first time. They've been at home for the past 3 weekends, and I'm sure it's going to be a little different for them. But they've been off to a great start, 12-4 overall right now. And I mean, you can't really ask for much better than that.
Oh yeah, they've played great. Everybody's been excited. The first 3 weekends softball had were tournaments, which everybody loves except for the event management guys. They weren't real happy about it. But getting off to a 12-4 start, they return a lot of depth. So they're offensively are going to be a strong, strong in that area. Their pitching's great. They'll have some youngness in the pitching staff, but so far they've been fantastic. Like I said, 12-4, and that's one of the best starts they've gotten off to, probably in a decade.
But this will be a little bit different test as they hit the road for a tournament at Lipscomb. You've been on the softball trips before. What's it like when, as opposed for being at home, you get to sleep in your own bed, to going out on the road for that first time of the year?
For me, it was, I love the excitement of it all.
Right.
Being at home was great. Of course, you had a lot of, fan support, but also being on the road is exciting. And, those guys are young enough to, it doesn't affect them like it affects us, Jonathan.
Right. You also mentioned, we're going to head over to golf now, that they've started the season and both playing really well to get the things going. Men have completed a tournament. Women are in South Carolina, and they're about to wrap one up soon.
Yeah, we're looking for, last year both teams went to the NCAA tournament and competed in the NCAA tournament, and we didn't lose any on the, or a couple of golfers, two golfers on the women's side, and the men returned their roster. So, looking forward to some great golfing events. The women are in South Carolina right now, and Fatima Kano, who led the Sun Belt last year, is leading that tournament right now. So, really looking for some great things this season for both the men and the women's golf programs.
And I know that we're looking at basketball. They're kind of winding the season down, close to tournament time. Women look like they're going to be in, and it's just right now figuring out what seed they're going to be. Men, I don't know if they're going to be able to make it, but still a lot of youth on that team, and time to improve as the season winds down.
Yeah, when you really look back over the season from for the men, I think certainly was a little disappointing, but a lot of positive things happening during the season, and really looking at a freshman and a sophomore they'll certainly be coming back and adding to that experience. Of course, the women are been playing really well lately. Won 5 out of the last 6 games. 2 more winnable games to finish out the weekend, and really have a chance of landing anywhere from 3rd to 6th. Probably need some help to get to 3rd in that 3rd spot, but realistically could end up 4th or 5th probably.
But they're a dangerous team right now, as you said. They've been on a roll, and it was great to see Ashley Beverly Kelly in her career the way she did, going out on a big win and scoring the way she did, as she continues to climb all the charts both at Troy and in the Sunbelt Conference.
Yeah, she's a tremendous person, certainly, being able to be successful athletically, but just as a person, just a tremendous person, one of the most likable students I've been around, always positive. I've never seen her upset, and it's fantastic to see students like that be successful.
And I know something else you wanted to mention while we were here is football. Their season tickets have gone out to be able to purchase, to renew those, or to buy new season tickets if you're interested.
That's one thing that we're going to make a big push to, and one of Jeremy McClain, the new athletic director's big push is marketing and branding, and getting out season tickets earlier, and really getting that excitement for football. Certainly we're several months out, but it's really an opportunity where we had a great recruiting class. We're starting spring practice. We're going to have a couple of scrimmages, one on the Hall of Fame date, April 9th. The T-Day game is April the 23rd. So we're really trying to build some excitement. We feel good about the direction that we're headed. But along with that comes season ticket sales and getting the fan base back excited and engaged, and like I said, a huge part of that is purchasing tickets. So we're offering those early. We've got different types of packages. We've got different types of payment plans as well. Something that we've started offering this year to try to generate that interest.
And I know you said we're a few months out, but we're actually less than a month out till spring practice starts. So it begins, I believe, March 22nd, and I know they have been open to fans before, especially the scrimmages, and they always have gotten big crowds for those. And you mentioned the scrimmage on the Hall of Fame game, or Hall of Fame Day, which is April 9th.
Correct.
And you can contact the ticket or athletics if you want to go to the event itself for that Hall of Fame.
We also have a lot of things going on that day of the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame game is what we're calling the football scrimmage on April the 9th. We also have a couple of tennis matches. There's a baseball game on that day as well. And of course, the Hall of Fame event starts at 7:15 that night. You can contact just the general athletic number 670-3482 to purchase a seat for that.
Okay, and as we mentioned, always a great event, always a great time, especially for big Troy sports fans. And then you mentioned the T-Day game will be April 23rd this year, and it's kind of a standalone game. It gets its day to itself.
Right. It's having the way that spring practice fell this year, it gave us a great opportunity to kind of market that event by itself. That game time is at 12:30. We also have a baseball series that begins at 3 o'clock later on that day as well. So a lot of events that'll be going on the 23rd as well. So again, this kind of goes back to just trying to generate excitement and encouraging people to come out and see what it's about and get engaged, and allowing those opportunities.
All right, Sandy. Well, thank you for joining us. I know, still, as we said, a busy time. I know y'all get a little bit of a rest this weekend with not a lot going on at home, but still a lot to keep track of.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. Welcome back to It's Tea Time, and we're here with assistant coach, the pitching coach for the baseball team, Coach Brad Phillips. And Coach, I know it's been a good start for y'all. It started off undefeated going into the series against Southeastern Louisiana over the weekend, and going on the road for the first time this year, and playing a solid team in Southeastern Louisiana. You came out 2-1. Was that something y'all were kind of expecting or wanting to do over the weekend?
Well, it's always when we hit the road we want to and expect to take the series. you know, it was a tough series
Right.
and a tough opponent and a tough place to play. So getting out of there with a series win was, you know, exactly what we had set out to do. Fortunate to do that. A little disappointed in Sunday toward the back end of the game,
Right.
but played well all the way up into about the 6th inning on Sunday. But we'll take it. It was, you know, they're a great club. You know, they're a 40-plus wins team last year. Tough venue to play at, on the road for the first time with an inexperienced team. So all in all, it was a good weekend.
And so far this season, defensively, y'all have played really well. Sunday, you had a few miscues that you hadn't seen yet. Just simple things, maybe after a long weekend and a long road trip that, I mean, just kind of the wear and tear so far, or what do you think it was?
I think it was a combination of a lot of things. You know, our focus, I think, dropped just a little bit there at the back end of that game, something we have to work on. But you're right, Jonathan. We have played really good defense up until that point. It's kept us in our ball games. You know, our offense is coming. We haven't really been clicking on all cylinders offensively, but we've been doing enough to win,
Right.
and that's important. You know, when you're going through an offensive slump, that you're still doing enough to outscore the opponent, and that's what we've been able to do. We've pitched okay. We've played really good defense, and you know, the offense is going to join the party here pretty soon.
Yeah, and that's normally as the season goes along, you'll see offense heat up, and I know you're kind of hoping that happens right now because coming up you've got a pretty tough stretch of games, 10 games in 13 days, I believe you told me, and that all starts this week, actually today, this Tuesday, against Alabama, then UAB, and then a big series on the weekend. We'll go to that in a minute, but if you can talk about these two in-state rivals that you play in these next few days.
Yeah, a very fortunate opportunity to get a Power 5 school coming to campus. You know, we wish we could get it more often,
Right.
But we got to take advantage of the times that we do. And I know the community, the fans, the university, they're all excited about Alabama coming in tonight. And another tough opponent tomorrow with UAB. They've always been a tough opponent for us. We were fortunate enough to pitch and defend last week to get a W with them here at home, but we play them up at the Pro Park tomorrow. So it's another tough battle as well heading into the weekend. And but our players are excited about the challenge. They understand that it's going to be a difficult challenge over the next 10 days to 2 weeks, and you know, it's something they're ready to hit head on.
And then this weekend, as I mentioned, you're going on the road, but it's going to be in Pensacola, so kind of a neutral site for all the teams involved. But Pensacola's got a lot of Troy alumni, so a very exciting event as you're going to be playing Auburn on Friday night, so another in-state rival, Southern Miss, another rival of the baseball team for the past few years, and then Michigan State. So I mean, that's a good slate of games right there.
It's going to be a fun weekend. Pensacola does this tournament right. They do everything about it first class, and great place to play. That park is unbelievable down on the bay, and great place for fans to go catch a good weekend of baseball. Right. We're expecting a really large Troy crowd over the weekend, and we'll get a chance to play some really quality opponents, and all three of which have gotten off to a great start, especially Southern Miss and Michigan State. So it's going to be a fun weekend, a challenging weekend, but it's something our players are looking forward to.
And I just got one final question. Just so far, you're a pitching coach. You've seen some pretty good pitching so far this year. A lot of guys have gotten a chance, but through this big slate of games, how are you going to try to divvy out the innings during that?
Well, you know, we've all of our guys have basically thrown that are healthy to this point, and you know, so we've got some experience under our belt already in the first 2 weeks. We've had some pleasant surprises to this point. We need those guys to continue what they're doing. The guys that we have counted on the weekend to go deep in the game, Bennett, Brown, Abear on the weekends, that's really helped us out.
Right.
You know, so if we can keep doing that, throwing strikes, not beating ourselves, and getting some production out of some guys in midweek that we've been able to do, you know, it's going to be a good thing over this stretch. Now, plans don't always go according to how you really draw them out,
right.
but you know, to this point, they've kind of, it's kind of went kind of how we wanted it to.
All right, Coach. Well, I know an exciting slate of games, as we said, starts off against Alabama Tuesday, then Birmingham on Wednesday at UAB, and then down to Pensacola this weekend. So a lot of exciting action. So if you're in one of those areas, go check it out, and or tune into the radio and cheer on the Trojans. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
All right, stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. Welcome back to It's Tea Time, and now we're going to talk women's basketball with an assistant coach of the women's basketball team, and that's Coach Neil Harrow. And Neil, thanks for being here today.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
I know y'all have been on a little bit of a roll recently, and kind of you've won 5 of 6. Ended your home schedule last weekend with 2 big wins, and I know it was an exciting weekend, especially senior night with Ashley Beverly Kelly ending her home career. Was that an exciting day for y'all as a team?
It was. It was exciting. It was nice to get that win for Ashley and for our team, but also difficult to see her go. Difficult knowing that you're going to lose the Sunbelt's leading scorer and just such a great person like Ashley. Even though this is just my first year, I can see what an impact she's had in this program. So it was bittersweet. It was just great to win, for her to play well, and nice to see her have a nice night, but hard to see her go.
All right. Could you just talk about the games over the weekend? 2 games, played well. As I said, you've been on a roll. What's clicking right now?
I think firstly, I think we're rebounding much better than we were, which gives you a chance, even if you don't shoot the ball well, gives you a chance to win. A few of our players, Kristen Emerson, Caitlin Ramirez, they're really going extremely hard to the offensive glass, which, shooting is going to be up and down. It's going to be up and down. It's hard to predict. But even if you're not shooting the ball well, when you rebound the ball well, it gives you a chance to win. And that's really the difference in the past 5 to 6 games than when we weren't playing as well the few games before that.
Now, y'all go back on the road this weekend. Last 2 games of the year, playing for seeding right now. You look like you're in the tournament right now. It's just a matter of seeding. You play Texas State on Thursday and then Texas Arlington on Saturday. What do you know about them? You've already played them once.
Yeah, Texas State, they're 2 very different teams to start off with. Texas State's a team that they rely a lot on the 3-point shot. It's a team that wants to drive and kick and run, they'll run some dribble handoff stuff, some high pick and roll stuff to get in the paint, and then they're trying to kick it out to shooters. So if they get hot from the 3-point line, it can be very difficult to beat them, especially them being at home. If they get rhythm and get confidence, they're a very dangerous team. It's a team that early in the season was scoring a lot of points. They're not in a great rhythm right now, but that can change as we know. So that's a team that you really have to get down and defend.
And what about Texas Arlington?
Texas are very different because they rely so much on their post play. They have a 6'5" post player that's the biggest post player in the league, and they look every time everyone catches the ball, they look to see if they can throw it to her.
Right.
So if you play in front, they're trying to throw it over the top, and if you play behind, if she catches it deep in the paint, she's probably going to go score. So they have an inside presence that Texas State doesn't have. So 2 very different teams, 2 very different tests, but definitely is going to be a good week for us.
And as I mentioned right now, I know there's a lot of scenarios that this team wins, this can happen, but right now it looks like you're maybe going to be in 4th or 5th place, could be as high as 3rd, low as 6th. What's y'all's mentality?
Just win these 2 games. Win these 2 games and control the controllable. We can't control what Lafayette does this week or what South Alabama does this week, but we can control what we do this week. So the chances are we're going to finish in that 4th or 5th spot, and whichever one we don't finish in that, and 4th or 5th, South Alabama's going to be in there. So the chances are right now we're probably going to play South Al in the first round. Like you said, we could finish as high as 3rd, and maybe things would be different. But right now we're just going to focus on these 2 games and control the controllable.
And with tournament time coming up and kind of towards the end of the season, are y'all changing anything practice-wise? Are you doing anything more rest or anything like that?
Yeah, you don't want to be out there for 2.5 hours. You want to get in and get out as quickly as you can. Make sure that you're getting shots up because we're such an offensive team that you need to keep shooting. But you don't need to be in there for 2.5, 3 hours. At this time of the year, you just want to get in, focus on what you need to get achieved, and get out and make sure that they have their legs under them. Especially for us, we're such an up and down team. If we don't have our legs under us, we can struggle. So right now, that's our focus. Get in, focus on what we need to do. Get in and out in an hour, hour and a half. And then any other free time we have the rest of the week, just get shots up.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck this weekend. I know it's been a long season. You're ready to wrap things up with the regular season and head to the tournament, so good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, and stay tuned for one more segment coming up on It's Tea Time. Welcome back to our final segment of It's Tea Time, and we're here with JC Affeld, a volunteer assistant with the softball team, to talk some softball with a team that's now 12-4 on the year after a great start. 3 home tournaments. Y'all got to feel good about the way things have gone so far.
Yeah, we're loving it. We're having a great start to our season. We've loved playing at home these past 3 weekends. It's been awesome to play in front of our home crowd. Like, we've had a really good fan base out there, so that's been awesome. The girls are working hard and they're playing some good quality softball, so we're loving that for sure.
And what's it like for you this year, being on the different side of things, watching it, not being out on the field?
It's definitely different, you know. Like, I love softball. I have a lot of passion for the game, but you know, it's been great to, you know, stay with the program with Troy and just you know, help out as much as I can and help the girls and the program get better each and every day.
And this weekend, y'all go on the road for the first time this year. It's going to be a different experience, especially for a lot of the younger girls, the freshmen who haven't done that yet. What are y'all changing this weekend? What are y'all kind of telling them about going on the road?
Well, obviously it's going to be different. You know, we get to sleep in a hotel, you know, but we're lucky because we have 7 seniors who have all been there before, so that we can, you know, match them up with some freshmen just to, you know, show them, like, you know, this is when we leave the hotel, everything like that. But we're just here to play some Troy softball. So, like, no matter where we are, no matter what field we're on, we're still going to focus on playing against the game and just playing some good quality softball.
And it's another tournament this weekend, so several different opponents. I know Youngstown State will be the opener for y'all on Friday. What do you know about them?
They're a good quality team. You know, every team that we're going to be playing this weekend is a quality opponent. So we're just looking to get better this week so that we can go into Friday feeling confident and prepared and just play against ourselves in the game. We really focus on the process rather than the result. So we try and focus on just like winning every pitch so that, you know, at the end of the day, hopefully the scoreboard will be in our favor.
And y'all have been playing well so far this year. What do you think y'all have to do to continue that success? I mean, is there something that's been just going right, or is something y'all can continue to work on to keep things going?
Well, we are working hard every day. Our girls put in a lot of work in the cages and on the field, and we're playing great defense, and we have good pitching and timely hitting. And defense and pitching is what's going to win us championships. So we definitely just focus on living one pitch at a time. We don't try and look too far ahead. Right. We look to, like I said, one pitch at a time, but we're just looking to Friday. I mean, that's going to be our first game, and that's the only game that we care about right now.
All right, JC, well, thank you. I know it'll be exciting for some of y'all to go on the first trip ever as a college athlete this weekend, and so good luck up at Lipscomb.
Thank you so much.
All right, join us again next week for more of It's Tea Time.